arts are important. And today I'm really excited to be here with Barb Storm from the Mountain Arts Community Center up on Signal Mountain. And we also have Mike Williams, who is also the Chief of Police on Signal Mountain. And we have Brian Harness, who is also a photographer working with nature here in the local community, Tennessee and beyond. So they're having a show tomorrow, opening tomorrow at the Mountain Arts Community Center. And this is a photography exhibit of local artists here. So welcome, Barb. And can you kind of tell our listener about the show, the times, and what's going on with that?
Definitely. Thank you. Thanks for having me on, Jill. It's great to be here again. We've got a gallery at the Mountain Arts Community Center. It's called Gallery 5. We try and exhibit different artists each month, and this month we're featuring 4 local photographers. The art will be up for a whole month, and so people can come during normal MAC hours and see it, but the reception and the opening is tomorrow night, Friday night, from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock. We'll have refreshments, and each of the artists will be there to answer questions and talk about their particular styles of photography and what they do to manipulate it afterwards. All the art will be for sale, and if you see something and it's already sold, you'll be able to order prints, you'll be able to get different sizes and so on. So it's going to be interesting and fun.
That's a really great thing to state, you know, because as a painter, I don't get that many things printed. It's a lot more complex than that with painting. So that's really awesome, because if you fall in love with something, and you can still get it. And I've seen these gentlemen's photography just briefly on their websites, and it's like transporting into another world, you know, to see the world through a photographer's eye and heart. And as we talk about normally, you know, we were just talking about this before the show, that all artists are not hippies. We have here a mixture. I'm not a hippie. I'm a professional. I work a full-time job and an artist, a little bit of a gypsy princess, but you know, and Barb is a professional woman, also very involved in the arts and running the Mountain Arts Community Center.
And a musician.
And a musician. So, and then we have Mike, and he's the Chief of Police of Signal Mountain. And Brian, what do you do other than your photography?
Construction worker. I'm a construction superintendent for a local company here in town. And before that, I worked for myself for quite a few years, and I'm an outdoorsman. I teach primitive fire. Love being in the woods and taking photographs.
Yep. So we have a real mixture here, and that's just proving that all artists are not hippies. We are intelligent beings who grew up seeing the world in a different way than some others, and with that strong heartbeat and desire to share our vision with the world. And it comes from the heart. And I'm really excited that you're having these 4 artists up at the Mountain Arts Community Center, Gallery 5, tomorrow night, with the opening 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock. So, Mike, can you give us a little view of how a man who is the Chief of Police of Signal Mountain and in law enforcement, and as you said yourself, a bit of a Neanderthal as well. You don't get to call the Chief of Police a Neanderthal often, so I figured why not. I think it was Knuckle Dragger, actually.
Knuckle Dragger,
there
exactly,
you go.
yeah.
So how did, you know, how can you tell our listener, what is it about your art and your photography that drives you to continue? And
well, I think you hit on it to start with, is letting people see how I see things through my eyes, and how I see with my heart, and what I want to display, and have people and share with people. That does come from the heart. I've always been interested in photography in a variety of genres, but just since I retired from Chattanooga Police Department, have I gotten into it a whole lot more. I've stayed out after retiring over there for 3 years, and then I've been at Signal Mountain for 2. So it's a target-rich environment on Signal Mountain for photography. That's for sure.
that's for sure.
Plenty of great places to take shots.
Yeah, it's like, when do you not take a photograph on Signal Mountain?
Right,
it's so beautiful. And so what age, you know, did you really decide this is a serious thing that I want to really dedicate this time to? This takes time. It takes a lot of time, energy, and money.
Yeah, I guess my daughter graduated from high school in 2000, and after that is kind of when I picked up, and I was doing a lot of sports photography. She played soccer at Baylor and traveled with them, and so that's probably when I really started getting into it. And also with the 2 young ones being out on their own, I had a little more expendable income to buy better equipment, And so that's kind of how it progressed. And it's a process of adding lenses and cameras and software along with your experience that makes your pictures better.
Right, because it's just like being an artist without my tools, without my paintbrushes and paints. I'm dead in the water. You know, it's in my head, but to get it out, so it's just a different set of tools. And I think that the work you're doing is wonderful, and encourage you folks to go see this exhibit because, you know, it's gorgeous work, very from the heart, and I think featuring Tennessee in a really beautiful way. And I'm sure some is other than Tennessee, but you know, you get to see our beautiful city and beyond. So that's really exciting. And Brian, can you maybe step up and tell us, you know, how long have you been looking at this seriously, and what drives you as a photographer and artist? And
Well, the last couple of years, I've just got into it more seriously. I've been taking photographs since 1980. I bought my first camera, but I got out of it for a long time. A couple of years ago, I bought a newer camera, a better camera. I started taking myself and photographs more seriously. I like to get out and take photos of things that people don't see. I'd spend a lot of time in the wilderness and hiking miles of creeks and streams and taking things that people aren't going to see on a normal basis.
do you ever find it frustrating, and you know, driving down the mountain, okay, you're driving down Signal Mountain and you see these gorgeous views, and there is nowhere to stop and take a photograph. There's nowhere to park. There's nowhere. And how do you get those photos without a drone or something? You know, how can we get those photos?
You just have to get out of your car and start walking and travel these creeks and roads. And sometimes you got to walk along the guardrails and risk traffic.
I think then Mike might have an issue with that if we're like walking around on Taft Highway, hanging over the edge of the mountain. I don't know how
as
would
long
that
as you
go.
stay on the opposite side of the guardrail, you're good to go. Just don't get out in the road because we don't want to work a fatality.
No, we don't, and it's a serious drive up there on the mountain. Serious drive.
One thing that I'd like to add, that since we've been talking about equipment as well, though, one of the things that even happened just in the last few days with me, people go, "Oh, that's a gorgeous picture. You must have a great camera." Well, it's like going to your mom's house and having a great meal and saying, "Oh, your mom must have great pots and pans." It's the cook that makes the good painting or a photograph or whatever. And some of my favorite photos are with some of my beginning equipment. It's, you know, it gets better and it helps you, it makes it easier, but you can't just go to Costco and buy an expensive camera and have great images.
Right. Yes, that's for sure. See, my photography is all, I have, 25,000 photos or whatever, but it's done for art studies. So I'm sure I have some pretty photos, but I'm not a photographer, So I think it's amazing to be able to capture those things the way maybe an artist wants to express it and could. But what I hear you saying, Mike, is that generally in the beginning, there was this just like raw creative energy. It didn't matter what your camera was. You were going to get the shot.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, that's exciting. So
one thing that motivated us to do a photographer's exhibit, this is the first one we've ever done on Signal Mountain. And we have a lot of great photographers, many more than the 4 that we're exhibiting this time. But we've looked at different artists and try and see things through their eyes. And when I was looking at not only Mike's photography, but Brian's and Dan Landrum and Becky Pope, the other photographers who will be involved in the show, it was interesting to see it's easy to paint from any perspective. And you touched on that, the bird's eye view of the mountain, or to imagine yourself in the middle of the stream and taking that picture and painting it. But it's a whole nother thing to be there and get that photograph. Brian was telling me he gets pretty wet sometimes when he's standing in the middle of the stream, taking a picture of the waterfalls or whatever the shot might be. And then, so it's not only composing it in your head before you take that picture, but then there's manipulation after you've taken the picture. And that was most exciting to me when I was looking at some of Dan Landrum's photographs and how he manipulates things after the shot. But I'm sure both Brian and Mike can talk more about how you compose it in your head when you're live there taking that picture.
How does that work? As an artist, I'm looking at light, dark, contrast, composition and everything. So I assume same with you, photographers.
Number one with photography is light. It's capturing light.
Yes.
But you have to get the vision in your head how you want the end product to look. I was smiling when he talking about getting wet. I've lost 3 cell phones over the years falling in creeks. And I've fallen off of a fire truck out at the air show, and just a variety of things. But some of the best pictures come from unconventional areas and unconventional positions that others don't see. And you got to be willing to A, get there, and B, be uncomfortable to take some of those photos as well.
Yeah, this reminds me in a mild way. I don't know if you've ever, Billy Weeks, who's a professor here in Chattanooga at UTC, he photographs photographer that goes to, you know, third world countries and specializes in like live baseball with kids, but he captures the human condition, and he uses all black and white, high contrast, but the image, when you see it, you know, it reaches right into your heart. And he's amazing.
Some of my my personal favorites have come from photos I've taken on duty or as a result of being in areas because of my job, that to see, like with the tornadoes back in 2011, some of the most profound things that I've shot came from that morning after. Some others were on, you know, I'll show Barb one this morning of after the Marine Corps incident, the shootings last year of the memorial, was just very profound images. And those are some of my favorites.
Are those going to be in this show tomorrow that opens tomorrow evening?
Yes.
Okay, I'm excited. I can't come tomorrow because of my work schedule, but I'm definitely going to see this show. And I encourage everyone to go to the Martin Outs Community Center and see this. It's free. Meet the artists, have some refreshments, meet Barb, who works very hard up at the Mountain Arts Community Center, as well as many other people who are involved in. Barb, can you give us a brief overview of, you know, we're having this photography show for local photographers. It's opening tomorrow evening at the Gallery 5, right up on Signal Mountain. Free parking, no city traffic, you know. So you can do that, but also the Mountain Arts Community Center, or the MAC, offers so much more to our community. And can you give us a brief overview of that? Sure.
We are a division of the town of Signal Mountain, and we are occupied in an historic building. It's a historic landmark. We are on the National Historic Register. It's an old elementary school built in 1926. So you get a bit of nostalgia while you're there too, and walk on the hardwood floors that have been there for 90 some years. It's a great place. It's a repurposed building, of course. It's a great place to come for all kinds of arts. We have 26 music teachers, so you can do private music lessons or group music lessons on just about any instrument. We have everything from accordion to cello and clarinet and drums, and quite a variety. We also have a lot of painting and drawing classes, acrylic painting or oil paints or drawing and sketching for all ages, students and elderly, all the way through. We have a drama teacher who currently, because our auditorium is closed, is teaching someplace else, but we've got a great drama department, and they do puppetry as well as drama. And we've also delved into some of the STEM classes. We do Lego building and
STEM classes. What is that? You're doing stem cell research, or what is that? For our listeners and for myself, what is that?
That is science, technology, engineering, and math.
Okay.
Which right now,
I'm homeschooled, so I missed that somehow.
Yep. It's fairly new in terms of an emphasis in the educational field right now. We like to call it STEAM: science, technology, education, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math.
I like that one,
because you've got to keep the arts in there. So we try to incorporate some of those classes: computer programming, Minecrafting, and those types of things, building using engineering and creativity in building your own robots and things that move. So we're branching out into that as well.
That's incredible. So this is all going on, you know, up on Signal Mountain, this beautiful, smaller community that overlooks Chattanooga Valley and beyond. It's an amazing place, and the building is not only historic, it's beautiful. It feels great when you drive up. It feels great when you walk in. It's a lovely building, and you'll be welcomed very warmly by people there. And so I hope you get out tomorrow night and see this show at the center.
And the exhibit will be up for the whole month of March. So from 9 o'clock till 7 o'clock in the evening, Monday through Friday, we're there.
Right. You can just go in and kind of tool around the building, because there's not just an active exhibit that changes up. There's beautiful work on the walls of the MAC as well, everywhere. Student work, local artists, oil paintings. It's lovely. So you can hear children learning or people learning instruments. And, you know, it's a place that I'm happy to represent, and I'm happy to, you know, be a part of sharing what goes on up there, because I really love the MAC.
It's an exciting and vibrant place. And if you come anywhere between 2 o'clock and 8 o'clock in the evening, you'll hear all sorts of things. The little 3-year-olds in ballet tutus running around. And
now, there's some cute photography.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. They're adorable.
Aw, that's wonderful. So,
and you'll be completely safe.
Safe, yeah. Mike, the chief of police of Signal Mountain, will make sure of that. That's good. Yes, I lived for a year on Signal Mountain, 1.5 years, and I didn't have the issues I had when I lived in Chattanooga, as living on my own as a woman. I definitely ran into some issues in Chattanooga, but I never did on Signal Mountain. So I appreciate that you do watch over our community and keep us safe. You know, I don't like it when you guys drive behind me, though. I do not like that.
That's a personalized escort from behind.
I don't care how you're driving, how you're, whatever's happening. As soon as you see a police car behind you, there's this difference. You know, you're like, oh, no.
Well, if it makes any difference, it's the same way with us. I mean, I can be out somewhere else out of our jurisdiction and see a patrol car behind me, and I just get the same
that's funny.
Nervous energy, I guess, and I've been doing it a long time myself.
Yeah, it's just that special feeling, you know. Am I getting pulled over?
Right.
But we do appreciate your service to the community, and that's another thing about the MAC is this is a not-for-profit organization. So tell us a little bit about that, and how that goes.
Well, we are a division of the town of Signal Mountain, so we're local government. Like many arts centers or cultural centers, you know, you'll find the Frist in Nashville, and you'll find other cultural centers that are parts of the local government. So we're funded by the town of Signal Mountain and the taxpayers. And then, of course, we bring in revenue with special events that we have and through the classes.
So your revenue goes back to supporting the MAC.
Right.
To keep it going, to teaching the community and sharing arts with the community. So it's a cycle. And,
of course, like any other arts organization, that doesn't support us 100%. So we take donations also. And if anybody is interested in supporting the arts on Signal Mountain, we would gladly put your money to really good use. Some of the revenue that we get from the sale of the art exhibit items come back to prepare Gallery 5 for the next art exhibit. We replace light bulbs and hanging equipment and all that. The other revenue, if people were to donate, would come back maybe in building improvements or something like new microphones or new speakers or things like that.
Yeah, there's always a way to keep on growing, and that's what it sounds like you're doing with offering these build-a-robot things and all that, and that's fascinating. So, again, we've got Mike Williams here, local photographer, and Mike, you've been doing this for several years now, seriously.
Yes.
And doing it from your heart. And we've got Brian, and Brian, you've been shooting photography for some time, but recently have really committed more to how important it is in your life. Is that kind of how I'm understanding that?
Yes, it is. I just got back into it again and wanted to share what I see when I'm out and wandering around. And I was lucky enough to run into Barb, and she helped talk me into the show, and very glad she did. I'm glad I can help her out with hopefully some sales.
Yeah, and just the whole, you know, sharing our beautiful country surrounding us, and helping the MAC by being there. You know, that's awesome too. So, you know, well, I'm really glad that you could join us today, and we've only got a few minutes left. So is there anything else coming up shortly that you want to share that you already have planned coming up at the MAC?
Yeah, I wanted to say one other thing about the art exhibit. You think that anybody with an iPhone can take a picture, and a pretty good picture, you know, we can share those on Facebook all day long. But when you look at these guys, and the variety that we have, Brian's work is completely different from Mike's, and yet they may have shot the same shot several times. But it's just a completely different eye and view. So Becky Pope's is different, and Dan Landrum's is different. So you're not going to see 4 of the same type of thing. We do have other art exhibits coming up. In fact, next month we have it's called the Children of Chernobyl. And there's a group here in Chattanooga who does fundraisers for the children of Chernobyl in Belarus. The country of Belarus is north of where Chernobyl accident happened, but the winds were such that it blew the toxic fumes over into Belarus. And so there's been a lot of damage and a lot of damaged people. they have taken an organization has taken children who show promise for artistic talent, and there's an art school in Belarus, and many of them are orphans. And anyway, their original work is going to be for sale next month.
So that's amazing. I am really looking forward to that as well. And go out to the MAC tomorrow and support these local photographers and arts and the MAC. Thank you for joining us, Barb and
Thank
Mike
you so
and
much.
Brian. It really had a great to hear what's going on here in Signal Mountain and Chattanooga. So we'll be back in a little bit with Will from Planet, PLVNET, a local musician, and we're going to see what's happening with Will. So thanks a lot. See you in a few.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world. News Talk 1240.
There's a reason why Alliance Physical Therapy is a choice of professionals and those who care about first-class, top-notch service and treatment. Because at Alliance Physical Therapy of Chattanooga, we don't just treat the symptoms in your body. Whether you're suffering from stiffness, muscle spasms, back pain, chronic headaches every day, stress of life demanding more and more of you, Alliance Physical Therapy takes a holistic approach to healing, mind, body, and soul. Alliance Physical Therapy with a location near you and 9 others in the Chattanooga area. If you don't have a doctor or if your physician's plan for chronic pain is not working, Alliance Physical Therapy will help. Visit Alliance Physical Therapy on the web at nopainpt.com. That's nopainpt.com. Alliance Physical Therapy.
Oh, he's got bad breath. And once he slobbered. But your dog's teeth are important for his health. The canine dentist at Wolf Fever has an offer. Listen, ultrasonic cleaning, polishing, x-rays, only $135. Ordinarily, you'd pay $175. For a few days, pay only $135. And get $115 in freebies as a thank you. Grooming, boarding at the inn at Wolf Fever. Act this week. Use anytime this year. Floss and rinse now. 344-1913. wolfteaver.com.
What? Oh no, I can't believe my phone screen is cracked. I cracked it. I can't believe my screen is cracked. I need my phone.
Whoa. Slow down, wild man. We've got an easy solution. Cell Surgeon in Ottawa. Your cell phone repair doctor is on the job. Cell Surgeon in Ottawa. Check out our brand new location. Just off I-75, Old Lee Highway next to Zaxby's. That's right, your cell doctor in Ottawa, Cell Surgeon, most of the time can fix your smartphone on the spot. Your cell phone repair doctor is on the job. Cell Surgeon in Ottawa. Check out our brand new location. Just off I-75, Old Lee Highway next to Zaxby's. Cell Surgeon for all your cell needs. Most repairs are performed in less than an hour. TheCellSurgeon.com. Go to TheCellSurgeon.com.
Daisy, get my cell phone out of your mouth right now.
Is your career taking you where you want to go? If not, talk to Covenant Group Insurance, especially if you like helping people. Call and learn how you can work for yourself, but not by yourself. Intense but free training, plus a fantastic lead program, plus office support equals your success, your prosperity. Gross at least $75,000 your first year selling insurance. Call Steve or Jada for a confidential interview. That's 855-8484. Maybe the most important call you'll make all year.
Wars come and go, but my soldiers stay eternal.
Now you can listen to Hot News Talk Radio anywhere streaming live at Noogaradio.com. That's Noogaradio.com. Hot News Talk 1240. You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world. Hot News Talk 1240.
8 until 40 Nooga Radio News. Russell Stroud reporting. Schools are back open today, but power lines are down as EPB crews are working to put up both power lines and street lights. Officials say that 5,500 customers were without power for over 5 minutes yesterday. Crews are continuing to work into the night and into the morning to repair damage and restore remaining customers, about 3,000 of them, by about 5:30 p.m. yesterday. By this morning, about all but 100 customers had been restored, so they're expected to have 100% completion by this afternoon. Many side roads had to be closed due to the down power lines. 23-year-old Ashley Marie Morris has been identified as the victim of a traffic accident that happened on Highway 153. Police say no charges are going to be filed because they say that she ran out into the middle of the road, not at a crosswalk, and the driver of the car which hit her had no time to react. All northbound lanes of Highway 153 were closed while police investigated. Representative Chuck Fleischman has introduced a bill which would require the State Department to investigate and interrogate former jihadis for counter-propaganda purposes.
Showers and strong storms will move in from the north and west for your afternoon. Some of these possibly severe with strong damaging winds. The biggest problem, otherwise breezy, highs into the lower 70s. Tonight, cooling down, clearing out and drying out, lows upper 30s with more sunny and cool weather through Friday. This forecast is brought to you by JCPenney. Hurry in Friday through Sunday for Power Penny Days and your chance to win the ultimate coupon giveaway. That's getting your pennies worth at JCPenney. And I'm Swargene 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Orr.
On AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Downtown Chattanooga's home for news, talk, and sports. Nooga Radio 101.1 FM.
Welcome back to the Art Beat of Chattanooga, the heartbeat of Chattanooga, where art lives. We're here with Will Martin, who is in the band Planet, and we are going to talk about some endeavors that Will has going on with a not new endeavor, but more and more going on all the time with what Will has happening. So on YouTube, so you can watch us there. I'm working on getting live on Facebook here. So, Will, can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself, what you're doing, what's new with you?
My name is Will Martin, best known for being in the band Planet. And
Whoops, we're just technical difficulty.
Apparently
No problem.
not catching phones. I'm good at that. And a guitar builder of sorts.
Go ahead.
That's
so
about
I
it.
kind of dragged Will in here, and I'm working on, there we go, a little Facebook feed there. So it's exciting because I am the original Planeteer, I was told at least once. I think there were a little bit of liquid drinks consumed prior to that, so I don't actually,
Liquid motivation.
Yes. So, but I have been the band Planet since I found out about the band, and so we can share about that too. So, if you want to tell us the band PLVNET,
There it is.
can you give our listener a little general overview about that?
Sure. Planet is an alternative rock band from here, Chattanooga. And at this point, we've gone all over the place. There have been tours. There have been countless shows. We released our second release. I don't remember when that was, actually. Last year sometime. Working on a new one, along with another project that I'll touch on shortly. But yeah, just time in the studio, time writing, and constant practice, just like last time I was here.
Yeah, and but you guys write the majority of your music. You're not really a cover band. These guys create original music and record and travel around and play the music. So it's kind of like living the dream.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and now there's another part of your dream. I've worked with Will before, and I've seen many a picture and image and actual, here's this footboard, pedal board I'm building. So there's this whole electronic art world going on in that head and other musicians' heads that we don't know about.
Right.
So entering into this, and you're doing what with your new endeavors with your guitars?
I am a partner in a guitar company. We build high-end American. If anyone out there in cyberspace has ever seen me play a show, chances are you have seen this one. Actually, good choice. The name of the company is Retronics, and we are based here in Chattanooga. If you can see the logo, and it's spelled RETRONIX.
Just gonna run around spelling PLVNET and RET
and words and stuff. But the first one there has become my main guitar. I've been playing it 2 or 3 years now, and it replaced pretty much everything else that I've played. The more traditional styles, the more common names of guitars. But the cool thing with Retronics is that we are really focused on doing the high-end custom works. Every single one's different, similar body styles, of which there are, at this point, 4. 5. We're talking about 5. but yeah, we're relaunching right now. We're right in the midst of relaunching, and it's been amazing. It's just been a whirlwind.
So is the website retronics.com, or what? How can they find you?
You can find us on Facebook under Retronics Guitars. The website is retronicsguitars.com.
Retronics.
Retronix.
Retronix. There you go. Retronix.
But it started about 10 years ago. We're coming up on our 10-year anniversary, which is just mind-blowing. I didn't realize that until earlier today when I was talking to...
Well, you started playing when you were like 5, so, you know.
Yeah.
10 years,
Yeah.
10 so
years.
This is your main squeeze, this guitar that we held up. And does this guitar have a name?
All my guitars have names, but that's for me.
Oh, I see.
That's for me.
You're not going to share.
No.
Uh-huh.
That is for me. But this one became mine. It really became a further extension of what I've always wanted to do musically. It's just, this might be the first time you've ever held that one, but I love it. It feels good. It has a 25.5-inch scale for all you tech heads. 2 humbuckers, fixed bridge.
Humbuckers?
Humbuckers, the pickups.
Okay.
These are humbuckers.
All right.
It's just a fun word to say on the radio.
It's got a very nice feel and a lot of weight to it. You know, like you don't think about the musicians up there playing these guitars. That's a lot of weight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think that one comes in at 7, maybe 8 pounds. It just depends on the species of wood that we use for any given one. Any number of things, any number of factors.
I'm terrified to touch it, but you did really well getting through that without panicking. I'll let you grab the other guitar and share about that one. Because I'm kind of tethered with these wires.
So when I first started, or joined the company, I should say, there was one model that I always wanted. I fell in love with it. All the partners are in love with this one piece. And this is what I mean by high end. This one is what we call the 300. And as you can see, just all the detail, the paint work, there's a special kind of pickup in here. The bridge is special. There's a carved top. You kind of can't see it in the camera, but all of this hand done, little scoop here, the pick guard.
And is that mother of pearl on there? What is the surface? It's beautiful. Mother of pearl surface on this guitar with a dark kind of teal color to it.
Right.
And it's just a very rhythmic look to even look at this guitar.
Right.
It's beautiful.
This particular one, you'll notice on the headstock it says J. Backlund Design. And all of our designs came from a man named Mr. Backlund, as I call him. And he really focused more on being an artist. He loves old cars, you know, the 50s and 60s Chevys. And
it has that feel. I think that it really does.
And loves guitars. So the company started when someone somewhere thought, let's build these. And from there, it just went on. This has been a prize piece in our collection. And they are soon to be in production regularly. So
that's exciting. Yeah. So are you doing this at the cave? Where do you build these?
Oh, no. We have different builders throughout the Southeast.
Okay.
Focused on, one or two. But of course, if they get backed up, we have a backup for a backup for a backup, things like that. But yeah, all US made. And you can tell from one player to another. They're just amazing.
And the mother of pearl on the back, now I don't know much about electric guitars at all. So what is this? There's a piece of mother of pearl on the back that has 2 screws in it.
This is simply just a cover plate for all the electronics, the knobs. Some of our models have a pickup switch if there's more than one pickup, like this up here, which normally there would be a plate here, but this one's from the front. So.
Okay. But the neat thing is you didn't just, it's done beautifully. Even the entrance to get into the electronics in the back is a mother of pearl piece, and it just accents the beauty of this guitar. It's lovely.
Right. Every single centimeter of this thing, in all of our guitars, we research how to make it function as well as make it absolutely beautiful. And hold it.
All right.
See?
Play a chord or two.
There you go.
I'll play a little song for you here. Me and Will are going to do a duet. Oh, that was a special. I got to hold Will Martin's guitar.
No.
Wow.
Well, the company's guitars.
Well, okay. I kind of got the shared thing on this one, but
Yeah.
but your other girlfriend here that's nameless in the corner, she was also. I got told her.
Nameless.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know who you are.
Yeah. It seems like they're definitely living creatures, like guitars for musicians and your soundboards, your pedal boards. These
Mm-hmm.
things are part of what I saw in you, like the electronic creative process, where you have the electronic part of it, and then it's also goes from there into a creative external process of creating beautiful guitars.
Right. It's just another form of art. When most people consider art, they think, acrylic with a brush on a canvas, or poetry, or theater, or music. This is just an extension of it. Simply just an extension of it. This is my version of what you do.
And the nice thing is it comes out when people pick these instruments up and play them.
Mhm.
And I've heard your band, I've heard your lyrics, I've heard you play, and I can assure you that Planet is worth going to hear and see.
Thank you.
They are a great local band, and they just played at JJ's about a week ago.
JJ's Bohemia.
It was really fun, and I encourage you to definitely step out and hear Planet, because it's worth it. One of my favorite dancing bands.
Yeah.
Love to dance to Planet.
Yep.
So
couple of songs we play. I've seen you get out there and cut a rug.
yeah, that's right.
You rug cutter.
You got to dance. I hope Chattanooga will get out there and dance.
Yeah, it's
So,
fun, and we're actually about to embark on kind of a different identity. We are also known as 10,000 Days, and I believe this is the first public, or at least radio announcement of this. But May 20 at Revelry Room, under the name 10,000 Days, it will be nothing but a night of
Tool music.
the band Tool. And if you don't know Tool, some people call them metal, some people call them progressive rock. It's just brilliant. I call it brilliant math rock. It's insane what this band does. So we're going to try our hand at that, and it's honestly, I think it'll sell out. I really do.
And when is this?
May 20th this year at Revelry Room downtown.
Okay. So
it's going to be amazing.
get your tickets early, because this is sounds like a great event.
Oh
and
yeah.
Kind of get away from work and escape from life, and let the music and the form and art just take over your mind for a few hours.
And there's going to be a nice light show and visuals and TVs everywhere, and it's just it's going to be amazing. I can't wait. All of us, we can't wait.
Yeah. So more than one band. Like, is that what? Or you're going to be playing the Tool?
Planet is going to be playing.
Okay, now I've got that.
Yeah.
All right, so that's awesome. So this is a new step for you guys. This type of music.
Not so much this type, but this concept.
Okay.
We typically don't play covers all that much. Maybe one or two.
Well, I hope you
set.
keep your Pink Floyd mixture in your set, because it's wonderful.
We touch on it from time to time.
That's
yeah.
a great surprise.
But with all the music out there, it's hard to stick with one or two particular artists. I mean, whether we're good at it or not, there's just so much new stuff coming out, and I personally want to touch on all kinds of different things.
Yeah, I totally get that, and that's kind of one of my artistic things. Is I'm not going to create to belong in a living room just because I can sell them. I'm going to create what I want to create out of my heart, out of my mind, and emotion. And I know, because you're an artist and I'm an artist, we go through some pretty crazy roller coasters as artists. And, I'm thinking about cutting off my ear now, because this covers the one ear, so it gets a little bit rough, doesn't it?
It does. It's sometimes it's hard to focus, but when you find something that you really can grab onto, and just open yourself up and free yourself, and just follow it.
Yeah.
And chances are, at least with my experience, I've great results out of that, and not block it. I don't want to suppress it. I just want to, if something pops, nurture it, do however possible.
Right. Don't evaluate it. Just take the gift of the creative and flow with it. And, but like the dark times. Okay. I don't know if all artists go through this, Will, but, sometimes the burden of all the creativity inside is very heavy, and it's frustrating. And it's like you said, I can't stick with one song. You want to get all of that out. You want to experience all of it, and you want to experience with other people. You know,
Absolutely.
your music is lovely to you and it's part of your heart and soul. But when you get up and perform and it's received and then returned to you, that's for me as an artist where it's complete. I can't stop, even if that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But when it happens, that's like a complete circle of your creativity.
Absolutely. It's not just being on stage and hearing the audience respond or how they respond. It also starts at the very beginning. Let's say you have an idea and it's focused on mainly one emotion that you want to address and that you want to get out there. Okay, so you follow it. Well, what if you can pull 5 emotions out? Well, 5 birds with one stone, you know, that kind of thing, all with one piece at the end. And you get all the, I don't want to say accolades or whatever, but at the end of it, when you're able to perform that, either in my form being on a stage or yours being in a gallery, however it works, you get that kind of full circle effect, I guess is where I'm going with this.
Right.
And there's just something so, is cathartic the right word?
We can use whatever words we want. We're artists. Cathartic art.
It's so pen.
Yes.
It's just so pen.
Yes.
But it's
That's a great description because, like, pens, 1 minute they're there, the next you can't find them.
Exactly. Exactly.
Welcome to the world of art. 1 minute up, 1 minute down, 1 minute, you know, having something happening, the other working a full-time job for a while.
Right. Right.
But the important thing is the dream, and you and I have discussed this dream before. Never give up, never surrender.
At length, yes.
And we've encouraged each other through dark times not to give up the dream.
Oh yeah, and be it creatively or even personally, you know,
right?
You can't give up. My biggest thing ever for years has been pretty much ever since I was in middle school: support local music and art.
Yes.
Support local music and art. You've heard me say that a million times. Yes. However that happens.
Yep, and that's what we're doing right now, and that's what I love about, like, you know, that you're here, that we can share about. What do you call it? Come on, the name. I'm still dealing with PLVNET, and now I'm trying to spell.
RETRONIX, Retronics.
Retronics, and making and creating, designing upper echelon, really quality guitars with focusing on the feel, the sound, how it's going to react with the musician, and probably even with the lighting and light shows, because I know that Mother of Pearl would be beautiful on stage.
Oh, it just glows under certain lights. It's amazing.
So the creativity going into this, you know, as an artist, it's like you were talking about, taking the 5 things and putting it all into one. So when you're making these guitars, I can see, after seeing somewhat of an overview of how guitarists actually interact with their equipment, not that I understand it, but I've seen it, knowing that you can see all those elements coming together in Retronics, what you gentlemen are doing with this.
And that's what makes every player different too. You know, every player plays through a different amp or series of amps. I personally play through 3. Some people use pedals on the floor for different effects. Some don't. Some have more traditional, conventional style guitars from the bigger companies. Other people really want wacky stuff. And we cater, Retronics at least, we cater to some conventional designs or more traditional designs, but it's the wacky stuff that really just has personality. And I've been fortunate to play a couple of these things, and there are some parts at the cave actually, and I piece them together and I look at them like, oh, that's going to be cool. And I imagine what it would be like to play something like that and to own it, or to hang it on a wall. You know, so we deal with a lot of collectors. A lot of the artists that play us already, some hang them on the wall, some play them live. It's just great to see them displayed however they're displayed. And it's almost like I had a hand in that.
It's kind of like a room full of sexy women, you know, they're all so beautiful. And it's like, which one do I pick? You know, they're just... you
ought to see my rack right now. It's
I'm glad I didn't say that. I mean, geez.
I can say that.
Yeah, thanks.
I have a guitar stand that I built, and it's always getting switched out, different ladies at different times, and I always take pictures, and I'm like, oh, so nice.
Yeah, your little cuties there.
Yep.
Yeah, same way I switch out my artwork too. And sometimes the older ones you get sick of and rotate them back, but then they're still your favorite and they eventually have to come back out.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's constant rotation.
What's that song? Make new friends, but keep the old, you know?
Yeah.
One is silver, the other's gold. So that's really great. And I'm excited for you, Will, that, you know, you're able to proceed in this endeavor in the area of passion of your life that you really want to do.
It's fun. And one thing I would like to point out, we focus more on direct sales, sales through the website. And I've gotten a couple of questions recently. How do I play one? How do I find one? How do I, hold it, physically hold it? We're focused on doing a lot of different trade shows, guitar shows. Next one is the weekend of St. Patty's in Nashville, Franklin. And then we're just going to hit up everything that we can.
That's great. And that's going to really let people see and touch and feel these instruments.
And that's crucial. Any player will tell you that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because like even picking up those guitars, I never expected they would feel the way they do. I can strum a few chords on an acoustic guitar, but my first electric guitar I got when I was 12. I took it apart to see how it worked.
I did the same
I
thing.
could never put it back together. You know?
That's
so I
same
needed
here.
Will. It's like, what do I do now? I had my little amp and everything, and then I took the guitar apart, and I was devastated. It was $25 for that guitar. I was like 12.
I think you probably came by that honestly. My dad did the same thing with some kind of car at some point in his father's garage, and he only had a few parts left over.
Right.
But took it, just completely annihilated it, and built it back just to learn how everything worked.
Well, thanks for joining us today, Will, on
Thank
the Art
you.
Beat of Chattanooga. I'm Julianne Collins, your host and local artist, and this is Will Martin, local musician, artist, and builder of guitars, and member of Planet, the band,
And
which rocks, and 10,000
days.
I'm trying to follow us. Thanks for joining us.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.